Welcome to the first episode of the October Special Serial Saturday.
Now today we are talking about a guy who is listed as number 2 for the killer with the most bodies. Just a disclaimer, I am more than likely going to butcher a lot of these names and I apologize for that. I have been researching this topic for quite a while, but I'm going to have some trouble with the pronunciation of them. So, I guess we go ahead and get started, and viewer discretion is advised. So, Pedro Alonso Lopez, he was born October 8th, 1948 in Santa Isabel, Colombia, to Benelda, I'm going to pop it on the screen, Lopez. Lopez said witnessing acts of prostitution while growing up had disturbing effects on him. In 1957, at the age of 8, his mother caught him fondling his young sister, so his mother evicted him from the family home. Pedro, who was reportedly the 7th child among 13 siblings, was polite as a boy and wanted to be a teacher according to his mother. After being evicted, 8-year-old Pedro Lopez had fled to
He was 8?
Bogota. Had fled to Bogota, Colombia's capital city.
He was 8?
He was 8.
8?
He was 8.
Jeez, whiz.
Soon afterwards, he said he had been abducted by a man and raped. At the age of 12, Pedro was taken in by a U.S. immigrant family and enrolled in a school for orphans. He ran away after 2 years, according to one account, because he had been molested by a male teacher. Other sources claim that he ran away with the teacher. By the age of 18, Lopez was making a living by stealing cars and selling them to local chop shops. Lopez claimed that during his incarceration for car theft, he was brutally gang raped, and then subsequently, while he was still in prison, he hunted down the most brutal of his rapists and killed them. He said that after being released from prison, he moved to Peru and started murdering young girls. Lopez claimed that by 1978 he had killed over 100 girls before being caught and captured by members of the indigenous tribe. These captors were preparing to execute him when a missionary from the U.S. intervened and persuaded them to hand him over to the state police. However, the police had quickly released him. Lopez said that he had returned to Colombia and later moved to Ecuador. During this time, he claimed that he had killed about 3 girls a week. Lopez said, and I quote, "I like girls in Ecuador. They are more gentle and trusting, more innocent," end quote.
So I assume the police had no idea he killed 100 women as to why they just let him go. To do more killings of 3 a week.
Mexico's police are a lot less caring, I guess. They don't care as much. Lopez was arrested when an attempted abduction failed and he was trapped by market traders. The Associated Press, AP, reported that he was arrested in March 1980 and that he confessed to killing 103 girls, including 53 whose bodies had been found. In January 1981, he was convicted of 3 murders and had confessed to 300 sexual assaults and stranglings. The police believe that he only confessed because a flash flood uncovered a mass grave containing many of his victims.
One grave?
I guess it was a mass grave. A mass grave. That's not a typo. I can pull back up.
Wow. So one grave of a lot of victims.
They were all probably shoved on top of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you care to bury them all at once? According to CNN, Lopez was arrested in 1980 but was freed by the government in Ecuador at the end of 1998. In an interview from his prison cell, Lopez described himself as the man of the century and said he was being released for good behavior. An A&E biography documentary reported that he was released from an Ecuadorian prison on August 31st, 1994, then rearrested as an illegal immigrant and handed over to the Colombian authorities, who charged him with a 20-year-old murder. He was declared insane and held in a psychiatric wing of Bogota Hospital in 1998. He was declared sane and released on a $50 bail, subject to certain conditions. He later left. The same documentary says the Interpol released an advisory for his arrest by Colombian authorities over a fresh murder in 2002, and he is currently wanted by the police. His whereabouts are unknown as of 2021.
What if he's dead?
I mean, he's like in his 70s. I mean, he could be, but
It's almost 20 years. That's a long time to not come up somewhere.
I mean, the guy guy was used to moving around. He's been moving around since he was 8.
I guess so. Unless he's just in another country or something. I don't know.
He could be dead. He could be
Could.
very much alive. He could definitely have more bodies that nobody's aware of. Or there's bodies popping up everywhere that just might happen to be from him. 2002 really wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
The fact that they let him out
Multiple times.
And at the end of 1998, for him to go one more time and have another fresh murder in 2002, and them still not try hard enough to find him.
Confess to a bunch of stuff, and then finding
the
the bodies
were found, and they're letting him out, insane or not insane. So if he gets declared insane and held in a psychiatric wing, and then he's declared not sane, and he's declared sane, he should then go return himself to prison. That's usually how it works. If you are no longer criminally insane and you can withstand being put on trial, then you are supposed to go to jail for what you did.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of cases that I've read about that come from other countries and other jail cells and other prisons, their system is not good. Granted, there's a lot of holes in our government in the United States, but it's not as bad as everywhere else.
$50 bail.
Well, I mean, this was in the 50s.
What?
Oh, no. This was in the 90s.
1998.
This
$50.
was 1998. Okay, well, $50 is
What is it?
not very much.
75 bucks?
I don't know what it is today. I didn't look
Like
that up.
75 bucks or something. I don't know. We're going to Google it for you. This is the stuff you want to know. What is $50 in 1998 compared to now? You just hit the enter button.
$83.92.
$83 is basically what they just paid to get out of the mental hospital or wherever he was held.
Psychiatric facility.
Yes. $83.
So this guy is still missing today. He could be fucking anywhere. Just, I guess, be careful out there.
Well, where is it? At Colombia still?
Colombia, but if they haven't found him in 20 years, he's probably not there.
They're not looking.
They're not looking, or he's just not there.
Or he's dead somewhere, and they just... I don't know how their coroner is, or if they keep up with... You unplug the microphone.
Oops.
I don't know how they keep up to... Like, the coroners and stuff. Maybe he is dead. Came across, they couldn't ID him somehow or something. I don't know.
His body just has to be... He has to be alive. People would know if he was dead.
No. Isn't there a thing where, like, they have, like,
John
backed up?
Doe's? But they would have his DNA because he's been in prison.
I get that, but maybe they're just backed up. You know how, like... I don't know if this is true or not. There's the episode of one show we watched where a bunch of bodies, they were just all in backup, like weeks and weeks of backup before they got to that one body.
But in 20 years, they would have gotten to it.
I don't know. Maybe it's fuck them. Let's just throw it in a pile and cover it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, he deserves it at this point. That's what he did to his other people. Anyways, that is it for today's episode. That is Pedro Lopez, who still to this day is on the run from officials. We'll see you on Monday for Mystery Monday special. Be safe out there.